Hold your breath, this isn't just a story. It's a seismic collision of courage, privilege, and a karmic reckoning so powerful it'll make your heart pound. Before we dive into the storm, where are you watching from right now? Shout it out in the comments. We're building a community of warriors here. If you're here for narratives that ignite your spirit and demand justice, smash that like button, share this with the world, and subscribe for more unforgettable tales. Your support is the wind beneath our wings. Now, let's set the stage for an epic showdown. Picture the scene: a bustling international airport at dusk, the low, resonant growl of jet engines vibrating through the terminal like the heartbeat of progress, the sky outside a breathtaking canvas of fiery oranges, deep pinks, and smoldering purples as the sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the tarmac. Inside the first-class cabin of Flight 827, the atmosphere is a blend of opulence and anticipation, the rich scent of freshly brewed coffee mingling with the subtle notes of expensive cologne, designer perfumes, and the faint leather tang of luxury seats, all bathed in the warm, golden glow of overhead lights. The cabin is a microcosm of privilege, but it's about to become a battleground. Maya Carter, a black woman whose life is a testament to resilience, eases into her seat, 1A, with a sigh that carries the weight of 1,000 victories. After a week of grueling, high-stakes meetings in boardrooms where her every word was scrutinized, this moment is her sanctuary. As the founder and CEO of a tech empire that's revolutionizing industries, she's no stranger to pressure, but this flight to Zurich is different. It's the final push for a deal that could redefine her company's future, a partnership that promises unprecedented growth. Her window seat isn't just a perk, it's a symbol of every barrier she's smashed, every doubter she's silenced. The view outside, the runway lights twinkling like a galaxy of stars against the darkening sky, grounds her, a reminder of how far she's come. But tranquility is a fleeting illusion, and it's about to be obliterated by entitlement. The cabin door hisses open with a sharp, mechanical snap, the sound jarring against the soft hum of the engines. In strides Evelyn Stokes, a platinum blonde whose every movement exudes entitlement, her designer handbag swinging from her elbow like a scepter of superiority, her heels clicking against the floor with an arrogant, staccato rhythm that echoes like a challenge. Behind her trails Linda, her jittery companion, clutching an oversized tote, her eyes darting nervously as if she senses the impending chaos. Evelyn's voice slices through the calm like a blade, sharp and commanding. "Can you believe this airline? This seat mix-up is absolutely outrageous." Her sharp gaze sweeps the cabin, landing on Maya with a flicker of disdain, a silent question hanging in the air: "What are you doing here?" The tension crackles, the air growing heavy with unspoken judgment and the faint scent of conflict. "You won't want to miss a second of this, stay right here, because this is where the fire ignites." Maya's journey to this moment is a saga of grit, grace, and unrelenting determination. Born in a modest neighborhood where opportunities were as scarce as rain in a drought, she was raised by parents who believed in her when the world didn't. Her father, a factory worker with calloused hands and a fierce intellect, and her mother, a schoolteacher with a backbone of steel, taught her that persistence could move mountains. She faced skepticism at every turn, boardrooms where her ideas were dismissed with polite smiles, stages where her presence was met with raised eyebrows, streets where her dreams were laughed at. But she rose, brick by brick, to build a tech empire that now commands global respect, a company that employs hundreds and innovates relentlessly. This flight isn't just travel, it's the culmination of years of sacrifice, a deal that could launch her company into the stratosphere and secure her legacy. That seat, 1A, isn't just leather and legroom, it's her right, her reward, her defiance against a world that tried to box her in. But to Evelyn, it's a mistake, a spot she assumes belongs to someone of her stature, someone who looks the part, someone who doesn't challenge her worldview. "Excuse me," Evelyn snaps, her tone sharp enough to draw blood, her manicured fingers tapping her handbag with impatient fury, each tap a drumbeat of entitlement. She looms over Maya, her posture radiating superiority, her blonde hair perfectly coiffed, her makeup flawless but cold. "There's been a mistake. This seat is obviously meant for someone else." Maya looks up, her dark eyes steady and unyielding, a quiet storm brewing beneath her calm exterior. Her voice is smooth as velvet but edged with steel, each word deliberate. "This is my seat. I reserved it weeks ago." Evelyn's lips curl into a tight, insincere smile, her blue eyes cold as a winter night, her gaze dismissive. I'm gold tier. I always get priority seating. You'd probably be more comfortable in economy, or maybe business. Surely you understand how these things work. The cabin holds its breath, the silence thick and electric, a palpable tension that presses against the walls like a living entity. Passengers pretend to scroll through their phones or adjust their headphones, but their glances betray them, curious, judgmental, waiting for the explosion. An older man in a tailored suit 2 rows back shifts uncomfortably, his eyes flickering between Maya and Evelyn. A young woman with a laptop nearby freezes, her fingers paused mid-type, her breath shallow. Maya feels the weight of their eyes, but her heart doesn't skip a beat. She's danced this dance before, in countless subtle battles where her skin color, her gender, her very existence were treated as negotiable. Internally, she steadies herself, her mind racing, not again. Not here. Not now. But her face remains a mask of composure, a shield forged from years of resilience, her posture relaxed but her eyes sharp, assessing. A young flight attendant, Greg, hurries over, his crisp uniform a stark contrast to the nervous sweat beading on his forehead, his tie slightly askew from his frantic pace. Is there an issue here? He stammers, his voice trembling like a leaf in the wind, his eyes darting between the two women. Yes. Evelyn barks, jabbing a finger toward Maya as if she's the problem, the intruder, the anomaly. This seat is mine. Fix it immediately. Her voice carries a venomous edge, drawing stares from other passengers, who now openly watch, their curiosity outweighing their discretion. Maya slides her boarding pass across the armrest with deliberate calm, her movements precise, her expression serene but her eyes blazing with resolve. No mistake. This is my seat. Greg takes the ticket, his hands shaking as he scans it, his fingers fumbling with the paper. He nods, but his hesitation screams louder than words, a silent plea for an easy out, a wish that this would just disappear. Evelyn pounces again, her voice dripping with disdain. She must have bought a last-minute upgrade. People like that always think they can just slip in, don't they? It's laughable. Maya's jaw tightens, but she doesn't rise to the bait. Inside, her frustration bubbles, a familiar fire stoked by a lifetime of microaggressions and overt slights. You've seen this before, she thinks, the assumption, the entitlement, the audacity. It's not just about the seat, it's about the message, the unspoken hierarchy that says some people matter more. But her face doesn't betray her. I suggest you take your assigned seat, she says, her voice firm but measured, a calm sea hiding a powerful current. This conversation is over. Linda, Evelyn's companion, tugs at her arm, whispering urgently, her eyes wide with fear, her voice a hushed plea, Evelyn, let's not escalate this. But Evelyn's rage is a wildfire, unstoppable, her face flushing with indignation. You don't understand who I am, she hisses, her voice low but seething with venom, her eyes narrowing to slits. I always fly first class. I'm not about to let someone like you take my place. The tension escalates, the cabin's silence now a living thing, heavy and electric, pressing against the walls, suffocating in its intensity. Other passengers shift in their seats, their whispers a low murmur, their eyes glued to the unfolding drama. A middle-aged woman in a neighboring row clutches her pearl necklace, her lips parting in silent shock. A businessman with a briefcase leans forward, his interest piqued. Deborah, the flight supervisor, arrives, her heels clicking like a countdown to chaos, each step echoing like a drumbeat in the tense silence. Her uniform is impeccable, but her eyes flicker with uncertainty as she assesses the standoff, her clipboard clutched tightly against her chest. Evelyn launches into her tirade, demanding action, her voice rising with each word, a crescendo of entitlement. This is unacceptable. I'm a loyal customer, a gold tier member, and I demand my seat. But Maya stands her ground, immovable as a mountain, her presence a quiet but undeniable force. I paid for this seat, she declares, her voice cutting through the noise like a beacon in the fog, clear and resolute. I'm not moving. Deborah, caught between a rock and a hard place, tries to mediate, her voice polite but shaky, her hand trembling slightly as she speaks. "Miss Carter, would you consider moving to another seat? It's still first class, just a few rows back. It would help us resolve this quickly." "No," Maya says, her tone final, her gaze locked on Deborah's like a laser, unblinking and fierce. In her mind, she's already 10 steps ahead, the years of high-stakes negotiations and boardroom battles flashing through her thoughts like a reel of triumphs and trials. This isn't just about a seat, it's about respect, about dignity, about the principle that no one should be erased because someone else feels entitled. She sees the flicker of recognition in Deborah's eyes, the moment the supervisor realizes this isn't just another passenger dispute. Evelyn's face twists in fury, her composure fracturing, her cheeks flushing a deep red. "Unbelievable," she shouts, her voice echoing off the cabin walls, drawing gasps and murmurs from the other passengers, who now openly stare, their phones discreetly angled to capture the drama. But Maya's already reaching for her phone, her fingers moving with the precision of a surgeon, her calm a stark contrast to the chaos around her. The cabin falls silent, every eye on her, the weight of expectation hanging in the air like a storm about to break. She dials, her voice low but lethal, carrying the weight of authority and the promise of consequences. "Yes, it's Maya Carter. I'm on flight 827, and there's a serious issue. Not compensation, accountability." Her words are a declaration, a challenge, and the cabin seems to hold its breath, the hum of the engines fading into the background. Deborah pales, her professional mask slipping, her hands trembling as she realizes the stakes have shifted, the ground beneath her crumbling. Greg shifts nervously, his earlier confidence evaporated, his eyes darting between Maya and Evelyn like a cornered animal, his tie now noticeably crooked from his fidgeting. Evelyn's smugness cracks, a flicker of doubt creeping into her cold blue eyes, her lips parting in disbelief. "Who is this woman?" The answer arrives with the force of a hurricane. Minutes later, two sharply dressed men from corporate stride in, their suits impeccable, their presence commanding like generals on a battlefield, their briefcases gleaming under the cabin lights. "Mississippi Lane, Mr. Simmons, you're being removed from duty effective immediately," one says, his voice cold and unyielding, each word a nail in the coffin of their careers. "Your conduct is unacceptable and jeopardizes our standards." The cabin gasps, a collective intake of breath that ripples through the rows, a wave of shock and awe, the passengers exchanging wide-eyed glances, some whispering, others sitting in stunned silence. Deborah and Greg are escorted out, their careers crumbling under the weight of their misjudgment, their faces pale and stunned as security leads them away, the cabin door closing behind them with a final, resolute thud. But Evelyn's reckoning is next, and it's even sweeter. "Mrs. Stokes, your Platinum Elite status is revoked," the corporate rep announces, his tone brooking no argument, his eyes steady and unapologetic, his posture unwavering. "You're disembarking." Her protests are loud, desperate, a symphony of indignation as she rails against the injustice, her voice rising to a pitch that draws winces from the other passengers. "This is outrageous. Do you know who I am?" she screams, but her words fall on deaf ears as security drags her off, her voice fading into the distance, leaving a stunned silence in its wake, a silence filled with the weight of justice served, the hum of the engines the only sound breaking the stillness. Maya, still seated, opens her leather notebook, the pages filled with her meticulous handwriting, notes, strategies, visions for a future where respect is the rule, not the exception. Her calm is unshakable, a quiet power that fills the cabin like a force field, radiating strength without a word. Internally, she feels a surge of satisfaction, a quiet victory that doesn't need fanfare, but she keeps her expression neutral, her eyes focused on the page. She doesn't gloat, she doesn't need to. The other passengers watch her, some with admiration, others with a newfound respect, their whispers a low buzz of speculation. The captain's voice crackles over the intercom, steady and composed. "Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the delay. Safety and customer satisfaction remain our top priorities. We'll be departing shortly." The plane taxis, the engines roaring to life with a deep, resonant growl, then lifts off, the city lights below shrinking into a constellation of hope and redemption, the night sky swallowing them whole. Weeks later, the airline releases a public statement, a mea culpa that echoes through the industry, a promise of change that reverberates in newsrooms and boardrooms alike. new diversity and inclusivity training for all staff, stricter protocols for passenger disputes, a systemic review to ensure no one else faces what Maya did. The statement doesn't name names, but the industry buzzes with speculation, and Maya's name becomes a legend, a symbol of resistance and resolve. In the closing shot, she faces the camera, her eyes fierce, her voice steady and powerful, each word a brick in the foundation of change. Respect isn't a courtesy, she says, her tone resolute, her gaze unyielding. It's non-negotiable. So, what would you do? Have you ever faced someone who thought they were above you, above the rules, above common decency? Share your story in the comments. We want to hear your fire, your fight. If this story lit a spark in you, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you never miss a moment of truth. Thanks for watching. You're the reason we fight to tell these stories, the reason we believe in change. See you next time, and keep standing tall.